You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 528 for the 24th of November, 2024.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Well, this week's show is a bit of a change from the norm. As I alluded in show 527, we have a very special guest who's going to talk a little bit about their upcoming trip to Walt Disney World. So welcome back to the podcast, friend of the show, beloved, lovely friend of mine, Anthony Markham.
Hi, Michelle.
Very excited for our chat to be able to share this with everybody because you're going to Disney World.
Yes, and not very long.
I am so excited for you to share your plans, and I've purposefully not asked for too many details in our conversations to save it all for our lovely listeners so that they can hear how you came to the decisions you made, what decisions you made, and talk a little bit about what you are looking forward to at this amazing time of year to go to a Disney theme park. So let's just wind things back a little. What made you decide to go on the run up to Christmas?
I'm such a Christmas fan, period, independent of my love for Disney. I have gone at this same week. I'm going the first week of December. I think this will be the either fourth or fifth time I've gone this particular time frame.
Wow.
You get to see all the Christmas, but here in the States, the theme parks kind of drop off a little bit that first week of December and then build throughout the month. So for me, who's not beholden to a school calendar, it's ideal.
Oh, absolutely. Why not go when you know those crowds are at its lowest before it gets really crazy as it goes into the sort of like, traditional Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, busiest times of the year.
Precisely.
We've got the trip dates in your head. How did you decide where to stay?
The plan was to go with a week-long stay at a DVC. It's a little cheaper, save some money, do some more fun experiences while you're there, right? Unfortunately, with my travel group, which is on the larger side, we weren't able to find a good option for a week-long reservation, and maybe that's because it's coming out of the Thanksgiving holiday here in the States.
Yeah.
So we had to break it up a little bit. So for the first 2 days of my week-long trip, just myself and my boyfriend are going to be staying at Pop Century.
Perfect.
Before traveling and joining up with the rest of our group over at Kidani Village over at Animal Kingdom Lodge for the last 5 days.
How amazing. Animal Kingdom at Christmas just takes it that extra level, doesn't it? It's so beautiful.
Yes, and it's so unique. I don't get me wrong, the decorations at Pop are pretty, but they're just so unique over at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
No, I completely agree. And I think you've got the best of both worlds, especially when you're starting at the value resort and then going upscale to the deluxe. Because if you do it the other way around, let's be honest, you're going to really struggle checking into Pop after having all of that amazing Animal Kingdom goodness.
Yes. And I'm excited too because since it's a large group, we actually have a two-bedroom, what do they call it? Villa. Yes, over at Kidani. So that's definitely something a room category I've never stayed in. So that's going to be just a cool experience in and of itself.
Okay, so what you've got to do when you get there, throw everybody out of the room and do a really nice room tour for me so I can feel in the moment and like I am sort of like sitting in the chair on the corner enjoying. That's fab. That's brilliant. So how many have you got in total in your group?
There'll be 5 of us, myself and my boyfriend from here in North Carolina, some friends from Colorado, a couple, and then another friend from Tennessee.
Wow, so different parts of the USA are going to be converging on the Animal Kingdom Lodge for a little bit of Disney Christmas. So we know the dates, we know the location. So how are you going to fill your time?
Well, I feel like even though it'll be 7 days. I still won't do everything I want to do, but
Hmm.
that's Disney World for you.
That's standard, isn't it? Because there's so much to
Yes.
do. What is your, okay, let's start this way. What is your
Mhm.
number one thing that is a non negotiable you've got to do at least once?
Disney Christmas. I'd have to go with the candlelight processional.
Oh, yeah. And
Hmm.
I do know that you've been able to score a pretty sweet deal. So tell
Oh
us a
my
little bit
gosh.
about the package that you've got and the amazing presenter you've scored.
And it was such an amazing feeling to be able to get it because I don't know what was wrong with Disney IT on the day the dining package was released, but let's just say it was a struggle, and I wound up thinking I was not going to get this particular performer, and then all of a sudden things opened up like 2 hours later. It was great. Anyway, drum roll please. I will be seeing the wonderful Josh Gad
Oh, my
on
word.
yes on Saturday the 30th. That's I believe he's doing 2 dates, and that's his second day.
Wow.
I secured the La Crêperie de Paris dining,
Okay.
and I opted for the middle of the three shows.
Okay, so I
Hmm.
know you've eaten at La Creperie before. You've talked about it on the podcast before, and you
Hmm.
particularly enjoy getting the set menu there anyway. So
Hmm.
it makes sense that it's a place you would have eaten at probably on your vacation
Yep.
to do that and then tie it into a package to make sure you
Hmm.
get a seat because I imagine there's going to be some very long standby queues of people wanting to get in and see Josh Gad. So you've got the beauty of dining and knowing you have got access and you will get to see that show.
Plus, since he's doing the first 2 days, I feel like you'll have not only the people who want to see him, but just the influx of people who want to do Festival of the Holidays to start with. So those
Mm,
lines are going to be awful. I'm so glad we got that dining reservation.
absolutely. Can I just share one little nugget?
Yes.
So Caroline and I went to have a meal there when we went in the summer.
Hmm.
We asked for the dessert with a scoop of ice cream, which you can do as an upcharge. And our
Hmm.
dessert crepe came and we got raspberry flavour. And it was
Hmm.
so good. I literally wanted to lick the bowl, but people kept looking our way, and I was sort of like trying to turn to the side so nobody could see me licking the bowl of this ice cream. And I was gutted I didn't ask for 2 scoops. So please make sure if you love raspberry.
Okay. That does sound divine.
So there is another reason why you wanted the medium sort of middle show as well.
Well, I guess I should say we're starting that day off over in Animal Kingdom.
Hmm.
We only, since it's party season, Magic Kingdom is only available in the evening 2 nights while during that week. So I only
Wow.
have two opportunities to see Happily Ever After, which is of course my favorite show.
Hmm.
So I aim for that middle seating for Candlelight Processional at 6:45, so that I should be able to get over to Magic Kingdom and see Happily Ever After. After that.
So I'm visualizing leaving the America Pavilion, going through France, through England, through Canada, all the way out to the top end of the park, getting on the monorail, getting into the Magic Kingdom. You've made it, big cheer. Where are you going to aim to see the performance of Happily Ever After? Are you up close and castle, hub, Main Street, or as I found out last year, the train station has a pretty nifty view?
That's probably going to be my goal for that evening because we'll be there. We won't get there for my preferred hub spot. So
Hmm.
hopefully it'll be train station.
I found that was such an unusual view because you got to
Hmm.
see the entire broad spectrum of the fireworks. And yes, you may not see the projections as clearly, but it was a really different, elevated view as well. So, all crossed. Are you going to try and get to see Happily Ever After on another night as well?
Yes, a little bit later in the week, we actually have a whole entire day planned for Magic Kingdom. So,
Perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Perfection. So we've talked about your number one must do being the
Mm-hmm.
candlelight processional. I will agree. It is a spectacle to behold. It's so beautiful. The
Mm-hmm.
music, the narration, the costuming, fantastic. Is there anything at the Magic Kingdom that, oh, Walt Disney World, that is new to you that you must do this trip as well?
Well, actually, there's a couple things. Well, and I know where your heart stands, so let's talk about that one first. I've never done Guardians.
Oh my word. I
Yeah.
I just can't believe you've never done Guardians. It is like, oh my word, I can't wait to talk to you the minute you've ridden it.
I'm just hoping the gods smile on me and I get Conga because I hear that's the best song.
Well, do you know, to be honest, I like them all,
Hmm.
and Conga is a good one because it's probably the song I'm most familiar with out of them all. But to be
Hmm.
honest, there isn't a bad song because they go so well with the music. And
Hmm.
they haven't announced bringing back the Christmas loop they did not last year, the year before. So fingers crossed you get to see the
Yes.
normal experience, and
Hmm.
maybe if the gods are with you, a little bit of pixie dust and you get more than one ride.
Well, funny you mentioned that. The day that the whole group, once we're together, um, since we're staying over in Kidani, it just so happens the day we've planned for Epcot, we have extra evening magic hours. The park will be open till 11:30. So maybe I can snag a couple rides on Guardians that day.
So you can get the virtual queue and then the
Mm-hmm.
second drop. I think it's at 6 o'clock, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. That is sneaky, but
Mm-hmm.
why not? If you've got the DVC perk of being in a deluxe, it makes sense to utilise every minute of extra opening. And can we just add a nod to something that is pretty magical over at Epcot? The glistening greenhouse.
Oh, of course that experience sold out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but we are watching it. Nothing's popped open yet, but I do feel like it would be amazing to see go do the behind the scenes. I'm sure we'll do the day experience and also the evening experience on the ride itself. But if we could get to do the backstage, that'd be amazing too.
I know our friends over at Diz Down Under, Cat and Lewis, they've really struggled to get a booking for themselves as well. So I
Hmm.
don't know whether it's something that you maybe have to just do a little cheeky phone call or a little
Hmm.
bit of app action on the chat and just try and see if you can do anything that way. Because, yeah, they've struggled as well.
Since we have a larger group, you know, that could be another thing working against us. So we may just have
Mm.
to go and beg, beg.
So we've talked about a few other things that are quite highlighty in the
Hmm.
parks. There's something that I know about you that I'm going to share with everybody. Anthony's favourite princess is
Yes.
Tiana.
Mhm.
So come on, what are we waiting
Okay.
for? Why are we not talking about the Bayou Adventure already?
Well, I don't. I wanted to go with what I need would get a reaction out of you with Guardians, but of course, Tiana's. And here's the struggle getting that spot. Of course, we have one full day planned later in the week over
Mm-hmm.
at Magic Kingdom. Generally, I would not do a water ride in December because
Mm-hmm.
like that could be uncomfortable. But yes, I will. I'm willing to stand in however long of a line I have to. I have to. Um, with
Okay.
this whole multi-pass, single pass system, I'm a little bit nervous at getting all those attractions that I want.
Yeah, it is quite a bit of an ordeal that you've got to wait for X number of days, and then if you're wanting to pay for it because you know you've got to do X, Y, and Z, it can be
Hmm.
done. It has been done, and it will definitely make your trip a lot more enjoyable, not having to stand in lots of really long lines.
Yes, we've decided that at least on Magic Kingdom Day and Hollywood Studios Day, we've got to go for it.
I think those are the two parks it makes the most sense at. I can't see the value being there for you in the other two particularly. So, okay, we've mentioned a fair few things. I do know that you are a fan of the odd alcoholic beverage every now and again. So, have you got any lounge action happening in your plans?
In particularly with the group that I'm going with, we're going to do a whole monorail resort crawl one evening. Plus, it's the holidays. You've got to go see all these deluxe resorts all decked out.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully we'll swing over to Wilderness Lodge as well, because we know Michelle loves that resort as well.
And you've got two amazing places you can go and get your alcoholic beverages. You've got Geyser Grill, which, as you know, I absolutely adore. But there's also the Territory Lounge, and they have an amazing range of snacks and beverages.
Okay. I have not been to Territory yet.
So let's see. You're going to do the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian, and the Contemporary. Okay. What about a little stroll through some of the boardwalk resorts? Because you can't go to Walt Disney World at Christmas and not see the gingerbread carousel.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Yes. And I haven't seen any images of that one yet. Have you?
I have, yeah. So definitely worth a trip. And I do enjoy that sort of like little nice walk over there. Now, last year we stayed at the Dolphin Resort. If you go on a little walk to the Swan, they have this amazing display of gingerbread in there as well. And it doesn't get publicised that often. So,
I was going to say, you don't even hear about that one.
Yeah, so I would definitely make a little trip. You can go on the friendship boats, get off at the Swan and Dolphin, and then walk to your left to the Swan, and it's literally just there. I highly recommend that one. And definitely going and having a look in Yacht Club and Beach Club, because they are absolutely fantabulous.
Okay.
What about in-park lounges? Are we popping into the Nomad Lounge while you see the Merry Menagerie?
Michelle, you know that's one of my favorite places on property. So yes, we have at least a couple days planning on starting in Animal Kingdom. So that's a must. That's a must do for sure. We've got, well, I don't know if you'd really call this a lounge, but it is one of the fewer places you can have a little alcafrawl at the Magic Kingdom, but we do have a Skipper Canteen reservation.
Nice.
Yes. Kind of a midday break for our Magic Kingdom day. We do have a Oga's reservation after hours on our Hollywood Studio day.
That's clever thinking there, Mr. Markham.
You can't beat how beautiful. Well, Hollywood Studios is gorgeous when you leave with a deserted park anyway. But plus all of the Christmas lights that are going to be down Hollywood and Sunset.
I am so looking forward to getting hundreds of pictures of you walking out of Hollywood Studios and it being virtually deserted because you've literally been thrown out of Oga's Cantina because they want to close. No! And they're prizing your fingertips off the door because you won't leave because you want some sort of exciting beverage. We know it's going to happen.
Escorted out by stormtroopers all the way. Yes.
Absolutely. We have been escorted together in the park before by stormtroopers, if I remember rightly.
Oh my gosh, yes, we were. That was what, 2016?
Maybe? That was a lifetime away, my friend.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Far too many Disney memories in the past. We need more. So, what other dining reservations have you been able to book?
Well, again, trying to save time, I went with a dining reservation that would give me a seat for Fantasmic.
Cool.
And believe it or not, I have never eaten at Sci-Fi Diner.
No way.
Yeah, never. So, hey, checking a couple things off. You know, I'm getting my seat, but I'm checking off a restaurant too.
And because there's 5 of you, you will fill a car.
Mm-hmm.
and you will enjoy the atmosphere of watching the little B-roll of film.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, the food is probably not the best food in the world, but
Mm-hmm.
it's enough to keep you sustained. There's some nice beverages you can have, and it's more for the ambience and the feeling rather than what you're actually eating.
From what I've seen, the the vibe, the decoration is really what I'm going there for. So, but hey, it's fine. We'll have a nice little lunch. It'll save us a ton of time later on that day.
Perfect. Now, in our last
Uh,
podcast, we spoke a little bit about meeting Santa Claus. Do you have any plans to say hi to the big guy yourself?
I mean, I wouldn't say no. It depends on the park. From what I remember in years past, obviously the lines at the location in Hollywood Studios. I remember those being particularly long. I
Mm.
I think I would check out the one in Animal Kingdom because that's he's in a different location this year.
Do you know, it's like we are psychic. I was going to say go to Restaurantosaurus because it's unique. It's brand new. And
Hmm.
as we know, that part of the park is getting bulldozed. So, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Although I
Mm-hmm.
will also say, if you're going to the Odyssey building at Epcot to go and try some of the Festival of a Holiday food and beverages, you can
Mm-hmm.
also meet Father Christmas there. And I have some very magical memories of meeting Santa Claus, who was just amazing and so gracious and so wonderful. I can't help but also recommend that as a follow up.
Okay. That'll be good. Not We're not meeting Father Christmas, but I did finally secure a dining reservation that I've been trying to get since 2019, I believe. Um, I
Wow.
finally I finally got Topolino's character breakfast.
No way. Well done, you.
Finally. Yes, the same day that we have our Epcot day, we'll just hop on the Skyliner and have a late brunch and then head back over to Epcot.
That sounds absolutely fantastic, and I am so green with envy because it is a hard reservation to score, is that one?
Hmm.
You're also going to be there when all the Christmas foods are about. Are you a big lover of the Christmas flavours such as cinnamon and gingerbread?
I do love it. I have to watch the sweets though. It can be a little much, so I'd have to be very selective. What is standing out to you?
Oh gosh, for me, just the gingerbread cookies look amazing. I
Mm.
did the cookie trail last year and
Hmm.
I was able to pick off lots of different cookies, and then we got the reward Dole Whip at the end, which was really
Hmm.
nice, and it came with a wish cookie last year. But the best part of it was I got the souvenir plastic cup, which sits on my
Hmm.
study desk and is a nice reminder of running around Epcot trying to eat lots of cookies, which is always fun.
I still have mine from I think that was 22 when I did the same thing. Um, Thankfully, I'm going with a group, so we don't each have, we can share those cookies and not get too OD'd on sugar.
That is perfect because it means you can do some trash can dining and
Hmm.
share some of the foods with each other. So you're not having to buy your own portions. You can just try more by having sharing.
That is the one time it's acceptable to share food, right?
Absolutely. And eat off a trash can. It's the law.
Um, did you see the design of some of those new cookies this year, though?
For the cookie crawl.
Yes. I just love how you were talking about the gingerbread one. I love that it's like a triangle, just like as if it's a piece of Spaceship Earth.
We spoke about this on our Patreon show, did Jane and I,
Oh,
about the
uh-huh.
cookies, and that was one I was like raving about. And I got really, really excited when I was talking to Jane about it and explaining about some of the names and the new things that they've done. And it's the Communicar Plaza experimental prototype cookies of tomorrow. I couldn't
Hmm.
help but squeal with laughter. Absolutely. There is one thing I'd like you to go and try for me, though, my darling.
Okay. What can I do for you?
It's also at Communicore Plaza, and there is a
Mm-hmm.
panettone holiday trifle with eggnog custard and a cranberry cherry compote.
Well, you had me at eggnog, so I'm ready.
Absolutely. And from past experience, the best cookie is the hazelnut Linzer biscuit over at the Germany Pavilion. That is
Hmm.
the Belm.
Okay. I do
So
like hazelnut, so sounds nice to me. What about savory? I know well, that's more James Avenue.
that's more James route. Yeah, unfortunately, I only I only looked at the sweet stuff. There are some really nice savoury things, and we will get onto it at a later date and talk a bit more about them because there are
Yes.
lots of lovely things to eat and buy and try as you wander around the park.
Yes, and I will take notes so I can report back.
Perfect. I do know you had a bit of a discussion in your group about whether to go for an upcharge event. What was the decision in the end you made?
Ultimately, it was a no. And so much of it comes down to, as we kind of touched on earlier, it's the multi-pass, the single pass, the who knows what we're actually going to wind up spending because we haven't reached that magic 7 day mark yet.
Hmm.
So we decided save our money, use it during the day, and then we'll do our lounges, our fun adult activities in the evenings.
That makes perfect sense to me. But if
Mhm.
you were to choose one, Very Merry or Jollywood?
Oh, definitely Jollywood.
Yeah.
Number one, it's different. Yes, I know it had its hiccups last year, but I think in particular for a group of adults going, it's much more tailored to us.
Yeah.
I did Very Merry, oh gosh, at least a decade ago, and it was okay, but it wasn't. It was is as you said, it's kind of a one and done.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I feel that I've done it. I wouldn't do it again. And if I ever went up to Walt Disney World again at Christmas, that would be an attraction for me to go to Jollywood and just enjoy my time there because it just looks like this year they've added so many other pockets of things. But we talk about it on the last show, so go back if you haven't heard it as yet and enjoy. Is there anything at all that you have booked or arranged for this trip we have not yet discussed?
The other perk of staying over at Animal Kingdom is, of course, I book dining at both Boma and Sanaa, but that's a must.
Oh, booking for the DVC, staying
Hmm.
for the bread service.
Amen. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
And Tron, I haven't done Tron yet either. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, hit the front door.
Yes. Okay. Would you spring for hold on, let me get the terminology right. The single pass, there we go, for an evening ride?
100%. 100%. If you've never
Okay.
done it before,
Hmm.
I would go for booking your time to go and ride it at night time because it is better when you go into the attraction, you load inside a building, you go outside, and then you go back in a building. But to see all of the beautiful lights at its best possible display is better, and you're only going to get that on a night. And I think it would make it a lot more magical for you.
Okay. Fingers crossed that'll work. Ugh.
Everybody say their prayers that Anthony's lightning lanes, multi passes, whatever he's doing, are going to fall into place with a little bit of glimmering greenhouse behind the seats tour, so it makes your trip absolutely wonderful. Would you come back on the show and tell us all about it and about some of the things that you did and enjoyed, please?
I would be happy to. Let's
Thank
play a fun game. Guess how many pictures will I take in one week?
Oh, it's like how many digits can we go up to? Sounds an
Yes.
awesome plan. Well, Anthony, I would just like to say a monster thank you for spending the last sort of 40 minutes or so recording with me, telling me about your trip. I thoroughly cannot wait to start sharing some of the pictures you send on our Instagram at DisDreamGirls. I also want to thank you, my lovely, for being one of our wonderful Patreon supporters. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that you have rushed home from work to record due to our wonderful time differences over here. So where can people reach out to you if they want to see more of your non-Disney, your normal life, where you normally share bits and pieces?
Well, I'm really only active on Instagram, and that is atrain74.
Absolutely. Well, thank you ever so much for listening into this week's Disney Dream Girls. But until next time, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me.